This is your reading. We're going to find out who has a crush on you. I'm really excited to do this reading. I've been having a lot of fun with this. It's just fun to get nosy and find out who is looking at you, and maybe to figure out if this is someone who you have any idea would have a crush on you. That's that's kind of like the funny part to me, is the idea that for a lot of you, this might be somebody that you hadn't even realized had their eye on you, or maybe this is someone that you've had your eye on, which is also really interesting and a lot of fun. So let's jump right in and see who this person is. So we have the Magician, the Spirit of Pentacles, and Earth Mother. Okay, your person is showing up as a really grounded, very stable, very down-to-earth person. So I would say your person's really showing up in the King of Pentacles energy here. This is somebody who's really giving. So a very thoughtful person. This might be somebody who they might just think of you, like maybe they go out and grab you a coffee if they're getting one, or they do little things to let you know that they were thinking about you. And I think they might do it in a way where it seems like they were just being nice, like they were just being a nice person. So for a lot of you, I'm kind of picking up on this might be somebody that you work with. It might be somebody where you kind of do things for each other and it doesn't seem like a big deal. It could seem really casual if you do something for this person or if they do something for you. But it's like when they're thoughtful towards you, when they are just making little efforts, they are actually doing that with a whole lot more behind it than you might realize. There's this energy of them really wanting to do something special for you, or to treat you really nice, to kind of get your attention in that way. It feels like this is somebody who has a lot of very distinct characteristics. So I think for a lot of you, you're going to know who this person is. This feels to me like somebody who might follow a particular routine or be kind of structured about things. So that could look like maybe someone who maybe they follow a particular diet. They might have dietary restrictions, or they might be really into their health and fitness. So they eat a certain way, or they eat at certain times, and they're pretty particular about it. It could be somebody who's really particular about their appearance. So maybe they always look very nice and pulled together. This is a lot of Taurus energy here too. So we're getting a lot of strong earth energy. And this is somebody who really kind of focuses on material things, not in a superficial way, but somebody who's very grounded in the material. So like I'm saying, like, really into caring for themselves, caring for their bodies, being healthy, following a certain diet, looking a certain way, pulling themselves together, having nice clothes on. So they might wear a particular color a lot of the time because that's the color that looks good on them. This is somebody who they do what works for them. I think that's what I want you to take away from this. It's someone who knows what works for them, and they kind of lean into and gravitate towards the things that work for them. So if eating a certain way really works for them, and they get great results like that, then that's what they do. If a certain workout routine really works for them, they do that. They can kind of appear a bit rigid or a bit stubborn when it comes to these things because they aren't that willing to switch up. So yeah, like I was saying, they might wear a particular color all the time because that's the color that looks great on them, and they don't really feel like switching it up if they know they look good like that, or they wear a particular type of clothing, or I think they have a really distinct style about them. They always wear a hat. They wear really nice shoes, or they have a particular type of shoe that they like to wear. This is the type of person who would drive a particular type of car because that's the car that's the most practical for them, or they got the car for work or something like that. Like this vehicle helps me do my job, so this is the vehicle that I drive. This might be someone who's really strict about their bedtime too. They really care for themselves, and if they know they require a certain amount of sleep, then they'll go to sleep at a particular time to ensure that they are well rested. This person, there is like a rigid energy from them, but I don't think that it is. It's not really something that they impose or inflict upon other people. It's just sort of their personality. They just kind of stick to more of a routine. What that does is it makes this person seem very stable, very dependable, very grounded. I think they're someone who's easy to talk to. You feel comfortable around them because they are so down to earth. They're extremely practical. I think that this might be somebody who is so practical, who comes across as so practical that you may not have considered that they have a romantic inclination towards you, that they have romantic feelings towards you, because I do get the feeling from this person that they have almost they kind of give the impression that they're almost above having a crush, or like they're too mature, they're too stable, they're too like they're too regimented to have a crush. Like that would be silly. And so to you might not realize that this person feels this way about you because you just don't see them as it's almost like having a crush seems frilly in a way, and like this person's so practical, so down to earth, so down to business that they might not even feel that way about anyone. So you would know that they are looking at you in this way. They seem immune. They seem immune to crushes. That's what I will say. This is someone who plans for the future. This is the type of person that has their investment portfolios, that they maybe chose a career path because of what it could provide for them in the future. They are always looking ahead to the future, and they just seem very stable, very grounded, very sure of themselves. And with this magician energy too, I will say this is someone who believes in themselves. This kind of plays out a couple of different ways. I don't get the feeling that this person is overly confident to the point of being cocky. I just think that they really have a lot of faith in themselves. I think they've accomplished a lot. They've come to a place where they can feel really secure in their lives, or they're working toward feeling like that. So they have a lot of evidence that they are capable of producing good results. So they do, like, they're confident in their ability to have a vision and to bring that into reality because they've done it before. So yeah, it's understandable that they have a bit of confidence here. What I will say about this person is I'm getting the feeling that they are extremely self-reliant, which is a great quality, but I think it might come from a place of them not really being able to trust other people and feeling like they can only depend on themselves. So they're very steadfast, headstrong. I think that might be kind of where this idea of stubbornness comes from. With the idea that they can only depend on themselves, I think they are a little bit more stubborn when it comes to maintaining certain routines, or maybe even just maintaining certain values and morals, because they just seem like they are a very upstanding person, but like it requires a lot of commitment on their part to stay in that energy. They're not easily swayed. I'll say that. They are not easily swayed by those around them. So this might be the type of person, if everybody else is going out to do something, maybe it's something idiotic, this wouldn't be the type of person who would join in. So maybe when this person was younger, or if this person is young right now, they're not a huge party animal. They're not very wild. They're not a risk taker in that way. They're very stable. Like, this is the designated driver. That's the best way I think I can say it. If this person does go to the party, they're the designated driver. They would have planned ahead already that they're going to make sure everybody gets home safely. Definitely somebody who you can depend on. What I'm seeing here is that they can come across as a little bit closed-minded. They can come across as kind of closed off and rigid in thought. I don't think that they are very close-minded. I think they are just regimented. I think they just want to follow a certain routine, or they have very strong values that they adhere to. But this gives the impression that this person has everything figured out already, that they know it all. And I think this is just a vibe that they give off. It's not anything that they would say or brag about. They're not braggy. Like, they just don't give me that that impression. They're not very showy or braggy, but they just have this presence about them. Yeah. I think the funny part about this is, I think this feeling that they have for you, this crush that they have for you, feels almost like the opposite of everything I've just described. Like, if this is a person who really has a lot of confidence in themselves and has shown the ability to create a lot of success in their lives, they feel unsure and less confident around the topic of you and around this crush that they have on you. And they also, like, if they normally come across as very very pulled together, very put together, I think that they do, their personality is one of being very composed and pulled together. I think their appearance suggests that too. Like, they just have everything in order, everything is just right, everything is just so. But you make them feel more off balance than they would prefer, because they do like to come across as somebody who does have it figured out and somebody who does have everything together, everything in order. But I think they feel a lot less composed when they are around you. So this is somebody who, when they get around you, they start stuttering and stammering over their words. They might lose track of what they're saying. They might fidget a lot. So this might be somebody who they play with something in their hands, or maybe just twirl their fingers a lot when they're around you, or shuffle their feet around. They feel nervous when they're around you, and that's not something that they typically feel. I think this is someone who has a lot of confidence in everything they do, and that's one reason they don't feel nerves. I think another reason they don't typically feel nerves is because they don't put themselves in a lot of situations outside of what they've already figured out works for them. So they don't find themselves in situations where they feel nervous. But when they're around you, or when they talk to you, if this isn't someone you're in physical contact with, when they talk to you, they are a lot more, it's funny, you know what I wanted to say? They're cuter. Which is the weirdest way to say it, but I feel like this might be somebody who you've thought, like, oh, they're so cute. Like, that's so cute how they're fidgeting like that, or how they, like, tripped over their words when they were trying to talk to me. The thing you might not know is this isn't somebody who would typically fidget, or who would get nervous, or who would stutter and stammer. They wouldn't typically do that. So if you don't see them in other settings, you don't even really know that that's totally out of character for them. All of this this nervousness and this nervous energy from this person, you may not even pick up on it. It might seem completely normal, or they still come across as somebody who's very pulled together, but when they're around you, they feel silly because they feel like this is the only time that they don't have their ish together. Like, they feel like, why right now do I have to fumble over my words or be awkward when I have it all together typically? It's just because your presence makes them so nervous that they lose that a little bit. So I think this is really somebody who does have a hard time letting their guard down. I think that feeling of them having it all figured out and having everything put together, having the future planned and all of that, I think that that's really more of a defense for them, and it's actually kind of, it's like an indication of their insecurities in a way. It's great that they're prepared, but I think the reason that this person is overly prepared and maybe overly scheduled and regimented is because they're afraid to loosen up. They're afraid to let go of control. So they try to control things, and it's not really coming from a place of like needing to be right or needing to be the one that has it all figured out. It's really just a way that they feel more stable. Again, with this mother, this Earth mother, This is really abundant energy. So this is someone who is very successful, or they're becoming very successful. This is the Empress card in traditional tarot, and the Empress is associated with Venus. So I think this is someone with a great capacity for love. I think their feelings for you are very deep, very strong. I think they've been made aware of that by the way that they kind of lose control of themselves when they're around you. They feel like somebody who is very controlled, who's very tempered, who really like takes a lot of pride in keeping themselves together, and they lose some of that when you come into the picture. What's good about this though is I think that there's this part of you, or this, what they're drawn to about you is you make them look at the world differently. So I think you might be very different from this person. You might have a little bit more of a free spirit than this person. Even if you're not a complete wild child, you are more free spirited than them, and you kind of like make them see things in a new way, so that now they have an expanded view just from you being in their lives. This is definitely somebody who has a whole lot of compassion though, and I think with the feelings that they feel for you, they're somebody who's very compassionate towards you and who tries to demonstrate that whenever they have the opportunity. I think that they want to really nurture you and care for you, and their crush on you, it just seems to venture into more of that like really caring for somebody, or like imagining a stable kind of life, wanting to provide for somebody. So I think this is someone, if they see you in need of something, they'll always try to like to make it right. They'll try to make you whole. They'll try to help you in any way that they can, even if that's something as simple as opening a door for you or holding the door open, helping you carry something to the car, or like I was saying before, bringing you a coffee. Like they feel like they want to kind of take care of you, and part of that's coming from just their nature as a very compassionate, very giving, very nurturing person, and some of it is like they feel that way towards you very, very strongly. I think this is someone you feel like you can prosper around, like someone you feel like you can flourish around. And I think you're making them feel like that too. You're making them feel like they can bloom. I'm really getting that feeling from this Earth Mother card here. It's like this is, it's kind of like a fertile environment where things can grow, where things can really establish strong roots and grow. And I think that's the feeling you give this person. I'm also really pulled to these roses on the Magician card. It just feels like something bloomed in them from being around you and having these feelings for you, starting to develop these feelings for you. It really caused something to bloom. I am getting the feeling this person's real quiet about it though. I am so far not feeling like they're not going to express their feelings to you. There's a quietness about this. There's kind of it might just be their calm energy makes it feel really quiet. Let's look in your oracle cards and see what else we have. So we have transformation. So things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. I do think you are making this person see things a lot differently, and it's probably causing a lot of shifts inside of them. Align your life. So this card asks what's not aligned or needs to change. Yeah. Soul family. So call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. That really, the soul family card is really kind of bringing me back to that energy of this is somebody who really only relies on themselves. So I do think this is probably somebody who hasn't discussed their feelings for you with anyone else. If they have, it's somebody they're super, super close to, somebody that they feel really connected to and really safe with. But this is someone who would probably keep that to themselves. They, like I said, super self-reliant, and even if they're having some really kind of unsettling feelings, because I feel like that's what it is, they feel unsettled. I think this is a person who wants to feel like they have their feet firmly planted on the ground, and this feeling that they have for you makes them feel a little bit too like they're floating, and that can be really unsettling. So it would be nice if they would talk to somebody about it, maybe talk to you, but I do feel like this person's a little quiet, and they just kind of They just rely on themselves. But this connection is causing a huge change and a huge shift inside of them. I think what it's causing most of all with this Align Your Life card is it's causing them to look at maybe where they are a bit too rigid. And one of those ways that they're too rigid is being self-reliant, like not depending on anyone else, not trusting anyone else, and not opening up. So they're really looking at ways that their life may have gotten a little out of whack and a little off balance. That might be that they are so they're so scheduled. They always have to do things at a particular time, and I think you're really opening their eyes to like a whole new world of possibility. That, you know, maybe try something new, maybe you know, wear a different color, or go a different place, try a new restaurant, try a different type of food. Like there's something about this connection that is making them see the world through new eyes, and it's shaking them up a little bit. Like I think this is somebody who really never gets shaken up, and you are causing them to be shaken up. A lot of times, I think, visibly shaken up. I think this is someone who might visibly be thrown off balance in your presence. Let's jump into some tarot and see what else. I definitely feel like this person, they think you're refreshing. Like they might not be able to loosen up or break out of their routine or stop planning for the future, but they definitely appreciate your ability to like to do things differently, or to look at things differently. They appreciate your point of view. Okay, we have the Two of Wands come out. This showed up in another reading. I think that's so appropriate. We also have the Magician come out again. So this just tells me this person really is, they're really a manifester, like in a very earthy, stable, grounded way. This is someone who can really ground things down into reality. I think what's so funny about this is they give you the feeling of stability because they are so stable. You give them the feeling of instability in the best way. Like you take their earth energy and make it feel like air. You make them feel like they're floating rather than being tethered down. So it's just funny, you have kind of an opposite effect on each other. Okay, that was like a whole group of cards, so that's too many to take. I do often like to pay attention to how the cards behave, so like a whole stack of cards just flew out. I think there's a lot that this person is sorting through and processing about the way that they feel about you. A lot of decisions to make. A lot of, the funny part is the Two of Wands is really a planning card, and it's like a lot of planning, which is so their energy. That's what they do. They plan for the future. They like make sure things are gonna be fine and everything's gonna be stable. And again, again with a big group of cards. So it's just interesting here. We have the Chancellor of Crystals. So this is more earth energy here. And it just really, I think this person really is like so super down to earth, such a nice, kind person, so giving, so nurturing. And I like, that's how you'll know who this person is. They're very giving and nurturing, and I think that's just, it's like really a part of their personality, but I think it really shines when they're around you because they really want to like give to you. They really want to take care of you, and they want to provide a stable foundation for you. And that just depends on like where you are in this connection, because we are looking at a crush. So it's like, even if this is fairly new, which, I mean, a person like this, it might take them a little while to develop these kind of feelings, but they do feel deeply. Like the crush is pretty strong. I do get a slow kind of energy from this person, and I think it's because they are just so earthy. I just really pick up on a lot of earth energy from this person. They might be a Taurus. We have the Taurus show up here. They might be a Virgo or a Capricorn too. They could just exhibit a lot of earth energy. They're just so, they're so stable. I have charms, you guys. So let's pull some charms for the person. I think I promised myself I wasn't going to shake them around. Like, what if you're wearing headphones? You might hate me, but I'm going to pull a few charms for you. I'm trying to keep it, down with the charms so that we can really look into them. So we'll just see. Okay, we got Aries energy here, and also Gemini. So we were really looking at some earth signs, and now we've got fire and air on the table. So again, like, I think a similar kind of thing happened in the first reading. I'm not sure, in one of the readings, but like this almost makes me think of like a time frame in a way, like April-ish to like June-ish, maybe July. Really we can expand that to like March to July, but I'm trying to like close it in. But you know, this could be somebody who was born in that time frame, or somebody that you met or that you will meet in that time frame, or like when they're going to come forward with their feelings. So we are approaching that time of the year really soon at the time I'm recording this. So it could be that this person is going to take until around the end of March to April, and maybe all the way into July to kind of express some of these feelings to you, which would make sense. And I even think that time frame kind of makes sense with the like the feeling of how their energy is, and the way I just can pick up on, like, they're planners, so they're going to plan how to do this. We have this butterfly. This is like a huge butterfly compared to the size of most of the other charms, and butterflies are all about transformation, and we had this transformation card come out. So this person is really, I want to say, like, prompted to change some things up because of your presence in their life. They're really being prompted to do that. What I like about this is this doesn't feel like a really painful transformation. It feels like a transformation that's fueled by a lot of joy. I think you're making them see things so differently that they're inspired to change. They're inspired to look at things in a new way. We have this cross that came out. So this might be somebody who is religious, comes from a religious background. Sorry. Maybe somebody who's highly spiritual or connected, intuitive. The Magician card coming out twice, really, it kind of suggests that. It kind of suggests that they have a spiritual connection that's pretty strong. We also have this coin here. So this might be somebody who is from a different place than you, maybe a place that uses a different currency. It might be somebody who likes to travel, or who you've had discussions about travel with. We also have this arch. So this makes me think of architecture, maybe someone who studies architecture, who's really into architecture. With this coin, this really just gives me a sense of travel. So this could be someone who you would have to travel to see. Maybe this is someone who's had a crush on you for a long time, and now you don't live in the same area, but they still are thinking a lot about you. It could be someone who you've had discussions about travel with, or who you have made travel plans with. This could really even be someone who you work with and maybe have to take a business trip with, or someone who you go to school with, and maybe your school is away from your hometown. So in a way you have traveled to the area that they are in. Let's see. Let me grab one more charm for you. I feel like the other groups had so many more charms, but we are kind of getting over. What is this? An O. So the letter O. And it has a little rabbit on it. Yeah, I think, like, rabbits make me think of, like, being a little bit scared, being kind of nervous, being timid. I think that in this case, it's really accentuating the nervousness that this person feels around you. Just, it's like you have them on high alert, which is good and sometimes uncomfortable for them, because you're making them like really sense everything, really pick up on everything, be super tuned into everything around them, and that can throw them off too. So it's like it's a good and a bad thing. So I'm just giving you a close-up of the charms just in case anything jumps out at you. Maybe just a special connection that you have to any of these charms. And I think other than that, I will leave it at that, group 3. This was a really fun reading. I think your person is very, very stable, and the good thing is they just seem to be like the most compassionate. This is like the most compassionate energy out of any of the readings today, like very compassionate person. So I think you're in good hands with this person. If this is someone that you are interested in too, this is someone who definitely will care for you and make it known, and just be very like very stable. I don't think there's not like, if you wanted to pursue a relationship with this person, you don't need to expect a lot of drama, because this is not a dramatic person at all. Very down to earth, very calming, soothing energy. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'm sending you so much love and light. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I will see you again in a reading sometime soon. Bye.